So, Raya, please, you can proceed.
Okay, asante sana Nuri. As I have said earlier, we we are ready to start today's session. And before we start, I would like to talk about the norms. I'd like to tell the people here that this space is safe. Every person can share what she feels that she is ready to share with other people ili tuweze kuheal sote kwa pamoja. And no one here is a perfectionist and no one is a professional. So mtu anaweza sema kile anachotaka kukisema without being judged ama being criticized. To start us off, Cephas, tafadhali tungeomba utuombe. Tufungulie mkutano kwa maombi.
Okay, thank you, Raya. Let's pray. God, the Almighty, the Creator of heaven and earth, we bow our heads before you and we humble ourselves before you this evening, for you have given us the gift of life. You've provided us with what to eat and what to drink. We thank you so much even for giving us this opportunity to discuss among ourselves on the ways that we can ensure that we have a better mental state. We ask you that you may grant us more wisdom and knowledge so that as we go on with the session, we can have better understanding and use us to share it out to the rest who are not with us. For we pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Cephas, for the prayers. Today tutakuwa na speakers watatu. And for the start, let's welcome Mohammed atuanzie session yetu. Mohammed.
Hi, thank you very much, Raya. For me, mine should be a very interactive session. I want us to keep on practicing virtual appreciating ourselves and also understanding what is stressing before we get into the core topic that is emotional thermometer. So I had requested that people bring with themselves a glass and something that can pour water into the glass, or even if it's a glass that has water poured in already, that's okay. So how many of us have brought glasses? If you can open video, it makes it even better. But if you can't, that's okay. How many people have brought us glasses? Glasses with water. Anybody who has brought a glass of water? I'm on the call chat. Let me see. Nancy has a glass. Um, who else has a glass of water? Biasha has a glass. Biasha, do you have a glass or you want to speak?
I have a glass, so I cannot have my video on, so I decided to raise my hand.
Okay, thank you very much. Raya has a glass also, thank you. So we have three people with glasses. Anybody else with
I
a glass?
also have a glass, but I cannot show my
Aisha has a
video.
glass. Four people. Okay. Are they the only people who have brought glasses? Cephas has a glass. Five of us. Okay. Edwin, you have a glass?
I have a glass and water, but I can.
Aha. Thank you so much, Edwin. So a number of us have glasses. If you can open your video, well and good. If you cannot, that's okay. But be honest with us as we move. How many of us have a piece of paper and a pen? I want us to do this at the same time so that we manage time well. How many of us have a piece of paper and a pen? Abigail has a piece of paper. Viewer that Amina has one too. So even if you don't have a glass of water, maybe you have a piece of paper and a pen. So here we go. We're going to do two exercises at the same time. One is to usher us to the emotional thermometer, maybe both. So if you have a glass of water, make sure it is filled with water to near full. Just fill it with water. to near full. Isijae kabisa lakini iwe karibu kujaa. And because I've rushed in, I was getting late, I just rushed in, so I will hold a bottle of water instead of a glass of water. So have you poured water into the glass near full? If you are using your right hand to write, please hold the glass of water with your left hand. And if you use your left hand to write, please hold the glass of water with your right hand. Kindly. Make sure the hand is not attached to anything, not a chair, not a table, just a hand suspended and holding that glass. Hope we have done that already. If you've done that, you can raise your hand or you can write on the call chat with the free hand. Nancy, you've done that. Biasha, you've done that. Thank you. Eunice, you've done that. Thank you. Who else? Okay, the rest, let's hope you've already done that. Okay, so, Rehema, you've done that. Thank you very much. Can you tell me, either by you speaking or by writing on the call chat, how heavy is it? Is it heavy? Is it something that disturbs you by holding it like that, the way it is? We need contribution here. How heavy is it? Inakaa namna gani? Inakupatia shida kuhold ama it's okay? Just a glass of water.
Mwachausa,
Yes.
it's not too heavy. It's slightly heavy, but it's something nice a hold to without.
Manageable. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Nancy. That's what I wanted. It's okay to hold. Sefa says, thank you. Who else? Who else? Ni nani mwenye namsumbua kuhold sasa hivi? Vile iko, ni nani mwenye namsumbua kuhold? It's holdable. Raya say, thank you. Who else? Eunice Ndubi. Is it holdable? I mean, nakupatia shida already. Kama kuna mtu mwenye anaona ina shida kuhold, atuambie na mapema. Holdable, but not comfortable. Okay, Eunice. I'm uncomfortable, but you are holding it, all right? Thank you. Okay, holdable, that Biasha, thank you. Raya says, Ula says a bit uncomfortable. VOA, it's holdable. So most people, it's either a bit uncomfortable, but holdable. Okay, thank you. Now, with the free hand, please hold your pen. Hold your pen and get your paper in place. Hold your pen and get your paper in place. We want to do this as participatory as possible. Now, last week we had a conversation with one part of our body. Today, I want us to send a short message SMS. So you are not going to write a long story, but just write a short story, maybe a paragraph or two, saying thank you to yourself. Any body part that you feel has done something wonderful today or has kept you going, just write something. When you're appreciating your body, you say, I want to take this opportunity to say blah, 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 blah. And maybe the ear, thank you for blah, blah, blah. Maybe the nose, thank you for having this, blah, blah. If the hand, say, thank you for doing this to me today. And if it is the leg, whatever. And then by the end of the day, I tell them how collaboratively they have made your day as you see it. All right? Can we do that? Can we start maybe 2-3 minutes? Let's writing that missive to ourselves. And please mention every part of your body that has contributed to that wonderful moment or that good feeling good factor in the day today. Mention every bit. Are we good? At the moment, let's keep holding our glasses of water the way we have been holding. Edwin, I want to hear that message. Time Haji, I would like to hear that message. Nancy Wambora, I would like to hear that beautiful message. Ula, I would like to hear that beautiful message. Raya, you are moderating. Eunice, I would like to hear that beautiful message that you are writing to yourself. And please mention every bit that has contributed. Shamim, I would like to hear a message from you. Colin Oteo, again, welcome again. I would like to hear a message that you've written to yourself. 2-3 minutes. 2-3 minutes. Please keep holding your glasses of water. Don't drop them. Okay, we can start sharing. If you've already written, please hold your hand and tell us what message have you written to yourself and which body part did you mention in particular. Rehema, do you want to share or you've been holding your hand for a while? And Eunice, do you want to share now or you've been holding that hand for a while? Okay, Rehema has recalled her hand. Eunice, you want to share what you've written or you're still writing? Please, let's be honest, don't drop the glasses of water yet. Let's keep holding them. Are you still writing? Thank you. Who is ready to share? Let me see. Who is ready to share? If you are joining us now, we are holding our glasses of water with one hand and also writing a short missive, a short letter of appreciation to ourselves. You write to yourself and mention every body part that has contributed to a beautiful day for you today. Even if it was a disappointing day, there was a moment that was not as disappointing. Please mention the body part that helped you to achieve that moment that was not very disappointing. If it was a beautiful day, then please mention every body part that supported you to have that beautiful moment. Eunice, you ready to share? Anybody who's ready to share, please. Mama, you ready to share? Amina? Cephas, you are ready to share. Take us through, Cephas. What have you written?
Thank you, Mohammed. Today I had to go to the office, even though I was not feeling very well. But I want to thank my legs. So this is how I write it. I just want to thank you very much, my legs, for supporting me to go to different places. Even though you were feeling unwell, you did not complain taking me and carrying the whole body, carrying the ears, the eyes, the stomach, the hands, and the rest of the body. You did not complain. You took me to the place that I wanted to be, that is in our office. And the news that I had from different people in the office really made me happy. Thank you so much, my legs.
End of a letter. Thank you very much. What a wonderful letter. I can imagine if it was those legs that we started off not very well, but with my efforts, I made everybody happy in the end. The ears had very nice stories. The eyes saw beautiful people. Maybe the mouth had to bite something and stuff. All because of me, the leg. Thank you very much for that story. Who else wants to share? Thank you very much, Sebastian. Nancy, you want to go? Please take it away.
Yes. Cephas almost wrote a letter close to close like the one I have just written. So I also went to the office today, and this is my letter. I want to send my regards to my face for always holding up a beautiful smile, even during tough times. Today, you are unwell, but you are able to hold up a very beautiful smile, and no one could even notice that you are unwell. I want to say thank you to you, my heart, as well, for holding up painful moments, but still keeping me alive by pumping blood through all over my body. I want to say thank you to you, my legs, for taking me to Samba offices, and to my ears for listening to that wonderful training on life skills. Thank you to all my body parts that have made my day wonderful.
Wow, what a wonderful letter. Thank you very much, Nancy. In the course of, for the purposes of time, we may not belabor on that one. Anybody else who wants to share? At the moment, let's keep holding our glasses. Who else wants to share? Eunice, you want to share?
I have written a letter to
Yes.
myself, and most importantly, my head. This is my letter. I dearly appreciate you for the wonderful person you are making me each day. My head. I cannot compare you to any part. You carry a lot. You help me think the soul of my brain. Through you, I have bravely handled the challenges that I have come through, and kindly take me through each day at a step. My prayer is that God grants you life and kindly take me through each day and take care of my eyes, ears, nose, and mouth. My heart, if you stop pumping, I won't be alive. Please do your work each and every day. That is what I've written.
Wow, 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 wow. What a wonderful letter again. And mentioning every part that has contributed, and also giving a caution that if one of you stops working, maybe I may not be alive. Also, Nancy alluded to the same. So thank you very much for that sharing. Anybody else? Maybe two more, and then we go to the next stage. Who else wants to share? I hope we are still holding our glasses. Who else wants to share? Ula, Edwin, Omar, Shamim, Biasha. Okay. I hope we don't.
Maybe I can go.
Yes, please.
I wrote a letter to my brain and I said, my brain, thank you so much for holding so much for me. It has been a very tough week last week, uh, but you kept on holding on. My body was not communicating so well, but my brain, you kept on pushing it to make this day a success. Thank you so much, and I promise I will make you rest and relax more by having a sweet, good sleep tonight.
Wow. What a wonderful missive again to the brain, and also saying even if the other parts were not as forthcoming, you held still and made sure there is survival in us. Thank you very much. Raya has written on the call chat that I like to appreciate my immune system. The past 25 days have not been easy for you to and from the hospital, but here you are so strong and so cooperative. I missed the session, but you allowed me to join in there. Thank you so much for being strong for every part of me. Thank you very much. Wonderful, wonderful again, that Raya. So all what this says is that we always have a reason to appreciate ourselves, whatever the circumstance. Remember, everybody who shared, they said something or another was not very well, but it doesn't mean it was everything that was not well. There was a body part that kept going. There was a body part that lifted the other body part. So in mental health, you have to realize that every day, even if you are in the midst of a calamity, you're in the midst of a storm, find time to appreciate the moments that are not as bad. And that keeps you going. It's very important. It's a tonic. It is a reason why you wake up again and take that journey, why you wake up again and do that job, why you wake up again and pick that phone call. So it's very important to appreciate ourselves, and that will be seen how it affects our emotional regulation when we talk about the emotional thermometer. So for those who are holding glasses, can you tell us how is it now? When we started, everybody said the glass of water was holdable. Some said a little bit uncomfortable, but it can be held. So can you tell us now how do you feel with the glass in your hand? Stefas, you want to go first?
Yes, Mohammed. At first, it was very, very comfortable, but right now, I think I need a support, or maybe if not, then I can drop it.
Okay, thank you. Just stop there. Anybody else who wants to share? How is it now? From the time you said it was comfortable, it was holdable. How is it now?
Mwachausa,
Yes, Nancy.
I feel like the hand is tired.
Okay.
Actually, the time you were talking, I was almost tempted to put it down.
Okay, thank you very much, Nancy. Anybody else who wants to share? How is your glass holding up? Anybody else holding a glass? Edwin, how is it? Ula, how is it now? You can write on the call chat. Biasha says very heavy to handle at the moment. Thank you very much, Biasha Zito. Anybody else? You can write on the call chat or you can speak. Edwin?
Also, I can say, yeah, it's somehow heavy and it's somehow cold. Huh? Sure.
Okay, thank you very much for that feedback. Anybody else? Comparison from when we started holding the glass until now, it's been like 18 minutes or so of holding that glass. How do you feel now compared to how you felt when you started holding it? Nancy, I'm actually sweating a little bit. Thank you. Anybody else who doesn't feel anything? Maybe it's the same, the way they took it, and now it's the same. The other side says it's disturbing my concentration. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Biasha, for that. It is destabilizing your concentration. Thank you very much. Anybody else? Maybe two more to share because we need to go to the other session. Well, maybe we can keep holding that glass for those who want to keep on experimenting. But what is important is that in mental health, what begins as a small issue, if you don't address it and you hold it for longer, it becomes a big problem. When the glass, all I say was unable to focus well, kept putting down and lifting it up. Actually, she broke the rules, but because it was getting heavier. So when you lifted the glass in the beginning, it was comfortable, it was holdable, it wasn't heavy. There's no water that has been added. But because you held it for longer, what has happened? It is numbing your hand. It is becoming very heavy. It is troubling you. It is losing your concentration so that you can't even focus. And that is exactly what happens to us when we are stressed. When you are stressed and you don't handle that stress and you move to another level, what happens is you are carrying over that stress. And even if the same stress does not become bigger, but because it is still in your mind, in your heart, it weighs you down more. And it feels heavier and heavier every day of your life. Reason being, you did not address it. If you address it, it becomes just a small issue and it's gone. But if you carry it in your heart, it becomes a heavy load. And even in your interaction with other people, even in your education, you can't concentrate. You may not concentrate at work. You may not concentrate in school. Even in your relationship, you may have issues because you feel something has not been addressed. And you have constant triggers that keeps telling you you are in trouble. All right? Thank you very much. Over to you, Raya. I can see that now we can go to the emotional thermometer proper. We have already started the work that can take us to the emotional thermometer. Raya?
Thank you, Mohammed. Was I the only person who got emotional during this activity ama niko na wenzangu? Okay then. Let's give this opportunity to Mama Anisa to take us through the emotional thermometer. Mama Anisa, are you ready?
Mama Anisa, are you there? Are you ready? Okay, as she prepares, maybe I can, we can maybe allow Manaisha to go first, and then Mama Anisa can come back. I can also support in that. I will present the photo of the emotional thermometer, and then maybe Manaisha can take us through as Mama Anisa prepares. Manaisha, will you be ready?
Okay, can I have the photo, please? Kindly share the photo. As Mohammed is sharing the photo, maybe we could talk about what Mohammed was saying, how we store our emotions or our feelings, then zina erupt baadaye zinakuwa kwa kubwa, but naona tayari ametuwekea picha. How many colors are we seeing in this photo? Maybe tuanze na hapo. How many colors do we see? Anyone you can mention in the chat box, or you can just raise your hand. Yes, Nancy.
There is blue, green and red. Although the blue iko na shades tofauti, the green pia kuna yenye iko light, kuna yenye iko dark, the red pia the same, kuna yenye iko a bit light na kuna yenye iko dark kabisa.
Thank you, Nancy. Mwingine pengine anaona colors tofauti apart from hizo ambazo Nancy amezimention. Anyone? Okay, nafikiri Nancy amemention tu vizuri 3 colors. Thank you, Collins. Kuna color blue, green and red. Thank you, Biasha. Ambazo zinaonekana vizuri tu ni hizo blue, green and red. And as we remember, when we did our brain, pia tuna 3 colors ambazo zilikuwa zinapatikana kwenye brain. There was the red color, the yellow color and the green color. Now in the brain, the green color ilikuwa inaashiria the thinking brain, right? Na katika thinking brain ndio pale unaambiwa mtu uko katika moment ambayo unaweza kufikiria lile jambo ambalo linakusumbua at that moment, to make a decision wisely, to think, to evaluate the situation, to analyze the situation and all that. Same applies to our emotional thermometer. The green part, always you can regulate yourself, you are in a good position to rethink. Hata kama pengine mood yako imeshuka, inaweza kuwa pengine kuna kitu kinakuumiza kwenye kichwa, but while you are at the green, ndio pale wakati ambapo unaweza fikiria what can I do to make myself better. Ni kitu gani hii situation ambayo niko nayo, nifanye nini? So hii thermometer yetu iko very simple. Kuna hivi vibonzo viko hapa viwili, kimoja kiko huku chini kimesweat kinainamia, ambapo kiko upande wa blue, and then chengine kiko huku juu kwenye ambacho kinaonekana kiko hyper, kiko happy, kiangalia kama kiko angry, not hungry, angry. Hizi ni viashirio vya how our feelings sometimes are, na this thermometer is here to kupima, kujiangalia your emotions at that moment uko wapi. Na while you are in blue, it tells you something, kwamba this is not the right mood to be in, this is not the right emotions to be in, and you need to go back to green. Now while you are also in red, pia it shows kwamba you are in danger and you have to do something to make sure you regulate yourself and you come back to green. Something that you must know, ama we have to know, ni kwamba while in green, it doesn't mean kwamba huyu mtu hajakuwa disturbed. It doesn't mean kwamba huyu mtu hana issue the most namsumbua. But you are in a position to acknowledge that I have this problem. I am in this state of mind. So I have to make myself, regulate myself. What are the practices I'm supposed to do kujiregesha katika ile hali ambayo iko sawa. Blue, na unapoiangalia hii green, it shades. Kuna pale iko green zaidi, alafu ina shade na kwa kama ni lighter green, mpaka inaingia kwa light blue, alafu inakuwa darker blue. That shows the transition ya kwamba now this thing is not managed. So inazidi kwenda down, inazidi kwenda chini, na ndio pale you see someone amekuwa so down, amekuwa depressed maybe, ama huyu mtu ni pale sasa mpaka amekata tamaa, anaona sasa mwisho wangu mimi umeisha, hakuna njia nyingine ambayo niweza kuifanya. Amefika mwisho kabisa, anaona the only thing imebaki labda ni mimi kujiachia, nibaki vile nilivyo, either mimi nimebaki sasa ni kujitia kitanzi, ama imefika hali ya kwamba mimi hakuna tena tamaa ya kuishi katika haya maisha, ama hakuna tamaa ya hii sababu yangu, hii shida yangu ambayo niko nayo kupata solution. So ndio pale tunasema this is a very dangerous situation ama moment ambayo upo, na it is very important to understand kwamba you are not in a good position and you need to put yourself to go back to green. Ndio pale you use several ways of making yourself urudi pale kwa green. Na this ways tumezungumzia nyingi, kama last week part 1 we are talking about mindful breathing. Unajielewa mimi siko vizuri sasa hivi, let me do mindful breathing so that I can go back to my green state. Or for example, you have friends, you have people you can go to share your problems. By sharing alone, it helps you to regulate yourself. Also we can say uko down, what can I do? Wewe ni mtu mzuri sana wa kuweza kusikiza music. Maybe the music that you want to listen to inaweza kukufanya wewe ukajiregesha katika hali yako ya sawa. Then that is the moment ambapo unafaa. Watu wako karibu ambao wanakuzunguka, wakikuona katika hii hali hii pia nao they are supposed to support you to make you go back to the green path. Sawa sawa. I know Mama Anisa will elaborate this more, so mimi nagusia kidogo, and Mohammed will also add on this. While you are in green, this means two things. Green, you are too hyper, or ile anga ambayo uko nayo, baby utumeanza pale kwa kushika glasi. A good example, umeshika glasi mlikuwa mkono.
Aisha, you mean red? You mean red, not green.
Yeah, sorry, I mean red. Yes, sorry, thank you Mohammed for that. Uko kwa red ndio pale, ukiwa kwa green tunayo hizo colors zina shades mpaka zinaingia kwa red, inakuwa typical red. Ni kwamba umeshindwa kuicontrol ile hali ambayo uko nayo at that moment. Maybe uko so sad, kuna kitu kimefanyika, you have lost a job, haujui ufanye nini, kidogo umeshikilia ile glass, ndio pale ile mfano mzuri wa glass. Lose job, you are okay with it, umeanza kufikiria nitafanya nini, mara unaanza kupoteza dira ya kwamba sasa sijui nifanyeje. Pole the shades of red zinaanza kuingia mpaka unakuwa deeper. Ni kwamba sasa pale unaanza kupanic, haujui unatafuta watu wa kuongea, umekuwa unaongea na watu pengine unapiga kelele, umekuwa ni mtu una shout. Now everyone is seeing it out kwa sababu now you are acting out. Mara mtu kidogo amekufanya kitu, umempiga, Mara kama ni mke nyumbani, umerudi nyumbani kwa sababu muhindi kule maybe amekusunuga siku nzima, umefika nyumbani, yule mke akifanya kitu kidogo unapigana naye, mtoto amekudi ushampiga teke. Everyone now is seeing it kwa sababu it's over you, it's all over you. So hapa ndio pale tunasema uko in a very dangerous stage, and wakati huu the only thing that is surviving is the survival brain, ndio inakufanya ufanye hivi vituko vyote vya aina yote. Now hiyo it's a red kuonyesha that is danger, na ni vizuri sana wakati you are in this moment, or maybe you see someone at this moment, uweze kumsaidia to regulate themselves to come back in the green path. Remember, I've told you, when you're in green, it doesn't mean everything is okay in your life. Kwa sababu sisi ni binadamu, so many things are happening in our lives, but at that moment, yes, you have problems, but you know how to regulate yourself. That's very important. While you are in red, hapa ndio pale the only brain ambayo inafanya kazi is survival brain. Inakufanya sasa kila mmoja anajua kwamba Mwanaisha today is not okay. Mwanaisha at this moment, she is not okay. Anangoja tu ingie kwenye 50 zako, you deal with her. Sometimes in red, it can be happiness. Some people wanaweza kuwa happy mpaka ikapitiliza. Umepata loto ya milioni 1. Bila kufikiria, ushaanza leo, ufikiri kwamba kuna vitu kadha wa kadha, maybe una muhimu, priorities ni gani, ushaanza kuspend out nini, ama you are overreacting the happiness that you are over happy. Pia inaashiria kwamba you are in red and you are not at yourself at that moment. You are not yourself at that moment. So that shows a red flag ya kwamba you need to regulate yourself to urudi pale mahali pazuri. Na tulisema how to regulate yourself to urudi katika green path. You can walk at the park, you can listen to music, you can play music, you can go play football kama ni into a sports. Unaweza amua mimi wacha niimbe, wacha ni dance. The energies that make you kwamba unakuwa na that bad energy inatoka, una sweat, unafanya exercises, una sweat, unarudi katika green, na ndio pale unaweza ku analyze your problem, unaweza ku evaluate your problem. You can see various ways of how to solve your problems, because at that moment you are thinking and your thinking brain is activated. I think Mohammed will add more on that, and then Mama Anisa can finish the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mwanaisha. I can see Mama Anisa pia raise her hand. Tutampatia maybe amalize na Raya atatuongoza katika question and answer session. But what I wanted to make clear ni kwamba, why is it a thermometer? We are calling it a thermometer kwa sababu ni kipima energy. Thermometer ya kawaida tunaitumia kupima joto kwenye mwili wetu, but hii emotional thermometer tunaitumia kupima energy levels kwenye maisha yetu ama kwenye wakati wa maisha yetu. So when you are in green, inamaanisha the energy levels are sufficient, you are okay. You may be in certain issues, but because the energy levels are okay, you are emotionally stable. Even the decisions you're going to make are going to be sober decisions. Hata mtu akikukana akuvyonge maybe akuchape kofi, unaweza mcheka tu because you are in the green, and you know maybe nikipambana naye italeta madhara zaidi kwangu ama atampoteza wakati. So you just let them go na unafuata shughuli zako. That is when you are in green. When you are in red, it is called, it means your energy levels are not proper in your body. It is you are deregulated. You are not balanced. So what happens? You are hyper. It is called the hyperarousal, or you are behaving hyper. What happens when you're in the red? Kwamba damu ile nguvu imezidi kiasi ambacho inahitajika, na you are very likely to hurt someone. Na hiyo inaitwa ni state ya acting out. Acting out inamaanisha una act nje ya wewe mwenyewe binafsi, lakini you are hurting people. Either unawatukana, unawapiga, unawafanya vitu ambavyo kama si sawa, because now you umekuwa overwhelmed. All right, emotionally umekuwa overwhelmed. So that's a hyper state. You are thinking brain shut down. and then a trigger is sent to your survival brain, and your body tells you are in danger, so you are just acting kama kujipinga kwamba the body is in danger, so lazima niwe strong. When you are hypo, inaitwa hypoarousal, na inamaanisha the energy levels in your body are not sufficient. And in this position, you may act in, which means whatever you may do at this position, hata kwenye ile kitu unapata mtu amejidhamia, you are likely to hurt yourself. You may be having something and then umekata tamaa, you may be depressed, umejidhamia, and then what happens is umeanza anga mawazo ya kusema mimi hii maisha ni basi. You may go to thinking about suicide, you may go thinking about abusing drugs to regulate yourself. You may go thinking about kujiachilia, usichane nywele, usioge, usipige mswaki, kwani nani anajali? You see, you may decide to isolate yourself kwa sababu mimi sidhani kama na fit kwenye society ya wenzangu, so mimi acha tu najinamia peke yangu. So that is a hypoarousal, which means you don't have sufficient energy in your body to carry yourself to the brink. So when these things happen, all you need to do is to regulate yourself. How do you regulate yourself? By the awareness and awareness practices ambazo tumezungumzia. One, inaweza kuwa meditation, mindfulness breathing, na vile ambavyo tumefundishwa na Yvonne, is hii ya kutumia mkono. When you feel you are hyper ama uko hypo, emotions zimepanda, hata kama uko barabarani, tafuta mahali kwenye kivuli, uanze kuregulate your breath, kwa sababu when you are emotional, breath yako huwa haivuti vizuri. What you do, unapiga kidole hivi, unasema breathe in, ukifika juu unasema breathe out, unakwenda tena mpaka vidole umalize breathe in, unakwenda juu, ukishuka chini breathe out, unaenda mpaka mkono mzima umalize, maybe once or twice or thrice. When you do that, as you mindfully breathe, you come back to your senses. If there's a decision, then now you can take, because now you are no longer very emotional. I want to give it back to Mama Anisa, and then Raya, you take us through question and answer. Sorry, before Mama Anisa goes, ule mfano wa glass ya maji, tukasema ulipoishika haikuwa heavy, but kwa sababu umekaa nao kwa muda mrefu, imeanza kuwa heavy, imekuluzisha concentration, imefanya mpaka unaweza i-break. That is exactly what happens with the emotional thermometer. When something is, that issue is small, you are feeling you are green, please deal with it. Usiweke, maana unapoihifadhi tu, it may either take you up to hyper, or it may take you down to hypo if it keeps in your body for so long. Mama Anisa?
Thank you so much, Mohammed and Aisha.
Mama, sauti kidogo mama, usitunyime utamu.
I'm saying thank you so much. Can you hear me now?
Uko mbali kidogo mama. Sijui nikidubasha ukigusa.
Thank you so much. You can hear now?
Yes, very well.
Hello?
We can hear you very well now, mama.
Mwasikia sai?
Vizuri sana.
Hai, nasema sahi Aisha tunaona amekuwa guru. She talked almost everything, and in addition to what Muhammad said, Muhammad was talking about the feelings, and that's where actually I wanted to point. In addition is that at every step of the thermometer, there are about 10 steps around the thermometer. When you go along the red part, you go along the blue part, and even the green part. We have 10 parts. And not necessarily for you to be pale kwenye kilele. You can be in red, but you are not so bad. You can be in blue, and you are not so bad. And you can also be in green, but not so good. So these places differ, but what is important for you is to know at each point, what are the emotions? How do you feel? Because if you don't know how you feel, you'll not be able to take any measures after that. At every point, there is a different feeling. And for each one of us, we have different types of how we feel, the emotions come. maybe me at the red part, maybe the lower part of the red, I might be feeling just overwhelmed, or maybe nina hasira, but maybe Mwanaisha doesn't feel so. Mwanaisha at that part, maybe ana feel fist zake zinakaza, anatamani kurusha ngumi, you know. So every one of us ana design ambayo zile emotions zinampelekea. What is important, each one of you to master this thermometer. Je, ana feel vipi mpaka anajijua mimi sai niko kwa blue, na sio ile blue ya uharara, niko kwa ile blue ambayo inaweza kuniletea shida. Na je, nimetoka kwa blue imekuwa kidogo inaanza kuwa light, inakuwa kwenye green, what happened mpaka najiona niko hapa? Sometimes it's unconscious, you might not even know the changes, just feel that umebadilika. So that is the only thing I wanted to add. But addition to that, I just want each one of you to go and do a homework on the colors. Why red? Why green? Why blue? These three colors, they have very big marks even in our own religious pathways. They have very big, history even in cultural. They have so much stories. So when you go, maybe you do your little research, you will know that this red is because of 1, 2, 3. Green, as Muslims say, green is always paradise, and maybe some others also. Why blue? When you are in blue, you're always down. Yeah, so these colors matter a lot in our lives. And when you go intense and study psychology, then that is when you will know that colors resemble a lot of emotions in within us. Thank you so much, and I'm sorry that I was late, so you can continue, inshallah.
Thank you, Mama Nisa. You reminded me of a friend who told me the colors that zinatumika even to our children. Wakati inaitwa children therapy ama inaitwa children psychology. Akikuchorea kitu, umenikumbusha kuna rafiki yangu aliniambia how the colors matter a lot when hata kwa watoto wetu ambao tuko nao. Unaambia mtoto wako akikuchorea kala fulani, mimi nimemwambia nichoree chungwa, amekuchorea na sasa kala ambayo si ile kala ambayo ni ya chungwa. That says something. But kwa sababu sijatumia mambo ya child psychology, bado sijajua exactly what color says this, what color says this, but you can read for yourselves. Utaona kwamba hizi colors they really matter a lot. Also hii thermometer napenda kuifananisha, kuna mfano mwingine ambao pia unapenda kutumiwa about the clouds venye zina change mpaka inakuwa ni rain mpaka nini. So also pia you can use that to check your feelings. Unajiangalia, unaweza kujilinganisha pia na mawingu. Kama kuna jua, you are happy. Yes. Kitu gani ambacho kinakuweka happy at that moment? Then mawingu yanageuka, jua linapotea all of a sudden. Kunaanza kama mbele kunataka kunyesha, mawingu yamegeuka. Je, wewe wakati mawingu yako yameanza kugeuka, wewe mwenyewe kichwa chako kinakwambia mawingu yameanza kugeuka kama mbele kunataka kunyesha, unasikiaje? And what made you feel that way? And what can you do to change that situation? Hivyo mpaka mvua inanyesha, ikinyesha huwa unasikiaje? Mawingu yako wewe yakinyesha, how do you feel? Na mpaka umemaliza kunyesha, kuna kale ka cloud waka nakuja kande kagiza mvua imeweza kunyesha. Je, huwa uko vipi? So sometimes maybe the thermometer ambayo tuko nayo hapa, maybe you cannot use it. You can also represent it with clouds na pia inaweza kukusaidia.
Thank you, Mwanaisha and Mama Anisa. Before I give this chance to Mohammed, ningependa kusoma this suggestion ya Maggie. Amesema our personality traits also determine on how to deal with our emotions and feelings. Saizi, I would like to kumkaribisha Mohammed to take through the last bit of the session.
Actually, Raya, it's about question and answer. If we can take maybe 2-3 questions, tusifunge kuchelewa sana. But I want to also respond to Maggie Chiku akisema kwamba our personality traits pia zina determine how to deal with our emotions and feelings, how we react. It's a personality trait. But then maybe one thing to ask ourselves, what makes our personality trait? Is it not the emotions that we were brought up with? If you are brought up in a place that is highly emotional all the time, maybe nyumbani baba na mama wanagombana all the time, then that becomes your personality trait that you carry as you grow up. Kwa sababu unajua mimi niko katika mapambano. Every time the part that is active of your brain is the emotional brain, because now you need to address, you need to survive in that situation. Kama wewe kama umezaliwa mahali kama Congo, DRC, ama mahali kama Somalia, ama kule Western Kenya, sehemu ambazo zinakuanga na mara wanaitwaje hawa cattle rustlers, mara mabunduki hapa na hapa, mara tumefukuzwa, mara umenusurika kifo. What happens is constantly your survival brain is the one that is active, and because for a long time that is the part of your brain that is active, it nurtures how you respond to things, kwa sababu wewe itakuwa kile unapokuwa you believe there is danger na hauna amani. If you are born and raised up in a very religious home, even if it's not very religious, lakini kuna harmony, mara all the time kuna upendo, baba anakuonyesha upendo, mama anakuonyesha upendo, ndugu anakuonyesha upendo, majirani anakuonyesha upendo, then constantly your thinking brain becomes more active. And because that is the part that becomes active most of the time as you grow up, then you also partake in terms of how you react to things. Una react to things based on which part of the brain ordinarily is more active. Kama you are part of the brain ambayo ni thinking brain imekuwa active most of the time because of the harmonious situation, then even when you are in danger, you are calm and you want to address it in a very calm way. So constantly your emotional thermometer is on the green, hata kama si green ile sana, lakini you are hapo katika hizo sehemu ambazo ni green. So personality trait is shaped by how our brain was trained from very young age. Asante. Any other questions?
Collins Oteo says that he loves the presentations. Congratulations to the speakers. Any other question before tufunge mkutano huu? You can either raise your hand ama write kwa chat box.
Raya, watu wamenyamaza sana. I don't know. Maybe they are still holding their glasses. How do you feel if you are still holding your glasses? I'm sure people have not survived with those glasses. They are down or broken. Maybe.
Personally yangu iko chini.
Yeah, they became very heavy. Anybody please give us feedback? It may be a comment, it may be a question, so that by 15 minutes past tops, we shall have gone out of this meeting. Any way that you feel we can make it better, anything, please let us know so that we can make it better for you or for all of us. Collins, you want to speak? I know I received an email from you, Collins. We'll come back to you, but for today, please tell us how you feel.
Hello, how are you today? I want to say it's so much grateful to be with you guys. I love the presentation. Ningesema tu kwamba inachukua time. If you can start early or we prolong the session so that at least we enjoy, we share a lot. Otherwise, I love the presentation, sir. At least tuanze mapema, I will prolong the time so that we enjoy the session. Otherwise, I wish you a blessed night and thank you for the presentation.
Thank you so much, Colin. Raya, will you have messages on the call chat?
Cephas amesema I dropped my glass long time ago. Biasha side, the session is clear and understandable. Shamim Mwandaro, I put mine away kitambo sana. Very insightful presentation. I feel more educated. Zito Biasha, the session was great. Thanks to our presenters. Ulaboga, this was a wonderful session. Thank you to our presenters and Team Haj, wonderful. Mohammed, I feel that hakuna maswali leo. People are more educated. Na Munira Faraj pia amesema it's very interesting and make people to digest what you are giving us but need more time. So na Edwin akasema informative session. So leo naona hakuna maswali. Will it be okay if I close the session, Mohammed?
Yes, indeed. Mary Mwachiti says, thank you so much for this session. It speaks to me directly. Maybe for personal questions, if there's someone specific who can assist. Mary, yes, you can reach out to Mwanaisha. We advise on gender basis. If you're a lady, you can reach out to Mwanaisha. As a lady, if you're a gent, you can reach out to me directly, or you have Cephas. If you need time, you can be welcome at the office, and people can organize another session with you. Mostly Fridays and Monday afternoons. Those are the days that the office can create time and have a session with you. Yeah, VOA Mombasa, Mama Amina asema informative session plus great speakers. Yes, Mary says thank you. So for next week, I will engage Mama Anisa if she will be available to take us through the 10 steps for each color. Then we can have an elaborate emotional thermometer session. But if she won't be available, then we'll go into other ways of regulating ourselves. Kuna what is called norms and rituals, which is a session that is going to be very interesting. So if Mama Anisa won't make time, then we will do norms and rituals that affect what stress does to our norms and rituals, and then it destabilizes our way of going through things. That may be our next session. But if Mama Anisa will be available, then we can do the 10 steps for each color so that we are able to understand ourselves more. Thank you very much. Raya, you can take it away.
Okay, I would like to appreciate kila mtu aliyeweza kujoin kwenye session yetu hii ya leo. We really don't take this for granted and we appreciate each and every person ambaye ameshare what ana feel ama ameshare the thoughts zenye ako nazo. So thank you very much. Inshallah next week same time same place tunakutana hapa hapa and yes, may we all heal inshallah. Good night and goodbye.